SEG did a great job giving me advice and mentorship about really how to set the company up for a successful sale. My name is Robert Johnson. I'm the former CEO and founder of TeamSupport. TeamSupport is a software company, a SaaS software company that does customer support for B2B technology companies. We eventually received an investment from Level Equity, a private equity firm based out of New York City. I had been through selling a company before and actually failed selling a company when I didn't have a banker. We went through a whole process. I thought I could do it myself, and the deal collapsed rather epically. SEG had attracted my attention through a lot of their content, and that's really what led me to using SEG. And of course, it was a great relationship. It worked out very well. When you're in a sale process, you end up having two jobs as a CEO. You've got to run the company and make sure it doesn't fall apart, and you have your eye on that with all the myriad of things we have to do there, but then also run the process. And being able to juggle both of those at the same time is not always easy. And the team at SEG really did a great job helping me with that and making sure that we did continue to run the company and didn't lose focus of that. The biggest concern was it was going to fail. And I knew we had built a great company. I knew we had a great product. We had a great team. But would anybody else think that and be interested in buying the company? And I think one of the great things about SEG is they don't take clients on unless they've got a high probability the company is going to sell. And I think there are many other bankers out there who will essentially take any client, no matter if they think that client can sell or not, because they're making fees off the engagement, not necessarily just the transaction. And SEG really set their fee structure up very well so that we were all aligned that the transaction was the end goal. In fact, we talked to them probably 2 or 3 years before we actually engaged the team at SEG, and they told us we weren't ready, and that's fine. We kept building the company, and eventually when we thought we were at the right stage, we re-engaged, and they looked at the company and they basically said, yes, you are at the right stage to sell the company. We'd love to work with you. And I love the fact that SEG didn't want to jump on board with us early on and take fees and try to sell a company that they ultimately didn't think was saleable. What I think a lot of people don't understand is there is a lot of process that goes in well before you start talking to potential buyers. And SEG did a great job with us getting what's called the SIM put together, the Confidential Information Memorandum. And they were able to frame the company in a way that frankly we had never thought about. We're, as operators, CEOs, we're used to putting the company together for buyers of our software, but not necessarily for buyers of our company. And SEG did a really nice job putting together the package, the marketing materials to get the company ready to go, in putting data together and pulling data from various sources that we had in a number of different systems, putting all that together into one great marketing package that we sent out to a number of buyers to get their attention. It was actually kind of a fun process. They were looking at the company very differently than we had. And trying to go through and find the different pieces of information is one thing. We could do that, and we could give that data to SEG. The hard part, and the part that really I didn't have, is the ability to put that together in a cohesive marketing package that told our story. And ultimately, when you're selling a company, it's marketing, it's storytelling, and it's the ability to take what we had done the last decade and convince a buyer that this is a great company and that they should invest or buy the company. And that marketing material, that SIM, is really the beginning of that path down that road. Our eventual buyer, we had just an immediate click with them. The relationship was very good from early on in the relationship with them. And just that week of management meetings, I think, eventually drove that valuation and the relationship we had with the eventual buyer as well. Software Equity did a great job helping us prepare for those. The entire team worked with us. They put together the decks. They counseled me on what to say and how to say it, and sometimes what not to say. They guided us along the entire process and did the negotiations, early stage negotiations for us as well. They came up with a guidance that I thought was appropriate based on my research I'd done in the marketplace as well. And we elected to go to market with that really as a guidance for us. And yes, I think we did a very good job of doing our management meetings and positioning the company, and eventually did get a higher valuation than we'd originally been guided toward. But that's great. I obviously like that a lot. It made me very happy, but I like the philosophy of guiding where you think the market is, and maybe even a little bit lower, and eventually getting a higher outcome than that. That's much better than guiding higher than getting a lower outcome. And I appreciated that SEG put together what we thought was a very realistic number that turned into being a very realistic number that we actually exceeded. So another great reason to have the team at SEG do our deal. I became friends with the team at SEG. I still am friends with the entire team at SEG. And that relationship is really important when selecting a bank. And I felt I had that with the team at Software Equity Group.